Welcome everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to add images and videos upload capability to a model. We will also transform and compress these attachments with a background job. I will also show you how to use Rec Attack, a gem to stop people from abusing this functionality. So as you can see, I can create a new post and then I can choose the image for this post. I'm just going to choose this image. What's going to happen when I click create post is that this image is going to be compressed. So if I click create post, as you can see, if we go to the create action, so app controllers post controller, as you can see, it runs a compress image job dot perform later post ID if the post dot image attached. So then we'll go to that job, and inside of this file, what we're saying is to format the image, to resize the image, to set the image quality, and we're doing all of this transformation with a package called Mini Magic. What should happen is that the image quality should go to the desired image quality and so on. So I'll set this to 1 just so you can see. So create post. And as you can see, when I refresh, the background job has been able to run and the quality of the image has gone down. The same thing with the videos. So if I go to create a new post and then I do the first video, then I just choose this file. The post was successfully created and then I believe the background job is running now. So if I refresh, the video has been transformed as due to this job right here, which can set the bitrate, the resolution, the audio bitrate. So we're doing this compressing so that it costs you less money when you're actually deploying all these images and videos on an online server on the cloud. Then we've also got an initializer file called Rec Attack. And in here, what we're doing is we're throttling requests so that our system can't be abused. We'll go more into this later. So without further ado, let's get started and build this app. So I'm just going to cd out of this, then goes ... and I'm just going to do Rails new active YouTube. And then that'll create a new Rails app. And then I'll cd into active YouTube. And then the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to do Rails G scaffold post, and we're going to do title and body. And then hit enter. Then we're going to do Rails DB migrate. Then what we need to do is actually add active storage to the application. So to do that, maybe it's Rails active storage : install. Okay, so that was correct. So now we can just do Rails DB migrate. Then all I'm going to do is do code dot to open up this application inside of VS Code. I'm going to go to config roots.rb and just add the root of the application to post #index. And then what I'm going to do is go to simple CSS, which is a CSS framework so that our application looks a little bit better. And then we're just going to add this one link, which is the minified version. Go to the application, the new application, and I'm going to go to app views layouts application.html.erb, put this inside there, and then our application should be working. So this is the old application. If I refresh, then I still have to start the server, so I'll do Rails S. But now we should actually see our application and we can create posts. So okay, it's all going well. Now we've got our first scaffold with simple CSS. So now the first thing that we want to do is actually permit images and videos. So to do that, let's go ahead and do that. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to go to the models, and we need to go to the post.rb model, and we need to say has _1_ attached. Then we can say image. Then we need to copy that one time, and then we can do video as well. Now, if you want multiple images, then you're gonna have to say has many attached images and has many attached videos, and the guide will be a little bit different, because when you're compressing them, you're going to have to compress all of them. You're going to have to permit more of them in the controller. So do remember that this guide is only going to cover if you want one image or video. But the process is more or less the same. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go to the post controller. We're going to go down to post params. And inside of post params, we're going to go here, comma, and then say image. And we're also going to permit the video. Then we need to go to posts_form.html.erb, and then we can just copy this twice, and then we can just say form.file field, and then we can call this video, and then we can go up here and we could call this one video, and then we just do the same thing but for images. So file field for image, so it's going to be the attribute of image, but it's going to be called file field, or going to be a type of file field, and then form.enable image. So now we've got the models in the post model. We're attaching the image and video. In the controller, we're permitting it, And in the form, we're actually allowing this all to happen inside the view. So now all we need to do is actually display the image and video, and then it should be going well. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say if post dot image dot attached, and then end, and make sure that there's no equal sign here. We don't want to render that. And then I believe we can just do image underscore tag and then post dot image. And then we can just copy this for the video and just call it video and then video. But you actually have to do URL underscore 4 and then change this to video. So now we should have images and videos in our application. If I just refresh, let's see what happens. As you can see, we have it there. I'm just gonna put this at the bottom there. I think it might look better. In the form, we're gonna go down here and put this below the body for text field. So that's better. So let's just check if this application is actually working with the images. So that's really important. So I'm going to add an image, and I'm also going to add a video just to test it out. So the first image, create post, and it's taking a little bit of time because I've got like a long video in there, but the image is actually working, but the video doesn't seem to be playing. So I'm going to check that out. Yeah, so the reason the video wasn't actually playing is because we have to have controls true at the end of this video tag, and that way we're actually going to be able to play the video and see the controls. So now that we've got images and videos in our application, what we want to do is actually compress, transform, and analyze these videos and images. To do that, the first thing that we need to do is add 2 gems. So you can go to gem file, and then we need to go inside here, and we need to say gem image processing 1.2 at least, and gem mini magic at least 4.9. Then we need to go to the server and we need to say bundle install. Now something really important is that to use these gems, you're actually going to have to install something called image magic, which is going to let you use mini magic. Image processing is the gem that we use to process these images, but then to actually go further and analyze them and do more stuff with them, more cool stuff, you will use another gem, and that's either mini magic or Ruby Vips. You either choose one or the other, and in this case we're going to be using mini magic, so you have to run this command. You have to run sudo apt-get update, sudo apt-get install build essential, and sudo apt-get install mini image magic. So I'll just run through this so we can do this just to show you. So sudo apt-get update so that I'm updated, and then install build essential, and then finally sudo apt-get install image magic. It should say I already have it. So image magic is already the newest version, so I already have it. So this is really important and it's mandatory. So make sure that you have image magic on your system. So I'm going to clear. And now that we've got that, what we want to do is generate 2 jobs. We're going to create a compress image job and a compress video job. So we're going to say Rails G job, and we're going to call it compress image. And let's just see if that created correctly. So yeah, compress image job. Then we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to call it compress video. And make sure that you have a capital C and a capital V. If you don't have that, then it's not going to be named correctly and it's just going to go worse. So make sure that you're using camel casing. So now that we've got these 2 jobs, what we want to do is we want to actually make these jobs run inside of the create action. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go inside of here and I'm going to say compress image job dot perform underscore later. And then we need to pass in the post.id. And then we can just say after that, if at post.image.attached. Now to actually run any background job, you're going to need something called sidekick. What we can do now is we're actually going to go to the gem file and we need to add something called sidekick, which is a gem to run background jobs and manage them. So go sidekick, side, and then KIQ, and then we're going to run bundle install. And then I believe you also have to have sidekick running. So to ensure that sidekick is running, what you can do is you can say bundle exec sidekick, and then it should give you a lot of stuff. But if I scroll up here, as you can see, we get the Sidekick logo, and it also says running in Ruby 3.3.1. And it also says connecting to Redis. So I believe you're also going to need Redis. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to go to app jobs, compress image job. And inside of here, what we want to say is def perform. And instead of args, we want to add the post underscore ID. And then what we want to do is say post is equal to post.find and then post ID, because we want to find the specific post. And then we're going to return unless post.image.attached, because if there's a post, because if the post doesn't have an image attached, then we don't need to do this. So we're going to say retries is equal to 3 and then begin end. So inside of here, we're going to say IO is equal to post.image.download, so we can actually download it. Then we're going to say image is equal to mini magic image.read. And then we're going to pass in IO because we downloaded the image. And then we're going to say image.format JPEG, because JPEGs generally take up less space than PNGs. Image.resize, we can just give some sort of height here, and then width, and then that's it. And then we can say image.quality, we're just going to say 5. Then what we're going to do is we're going to say processed underscore IO is equal to string IO.new. Then we can say image.toBlob. So we're taking in the image and we're creating a new variable. And then we're saying post.image.attach IO is equal to processed IO. Processed underscore IO. And then file name is equal to post.image.filename. And then we have to do .to underscore s, and then content underscore type is just post.image.content underscore type. So what are we doing here? Well, obviously we're saying post.image.attach, and then we're passing in the new compressed and analyzed image. So this is the old image right here, post.image.download, the one they uploaded. Then we take it in for a ride, we compress it, we do all our stuff to it, we change the quality, we resize it, we change the format. Then what we do is we add a new entity to the new image that's compressed and all that. And then we just attach the new image to the post. Now we're not done yet, we still have to add some logging. So we're going to say rescue mini magic error is equal to E. Then we're going to say end. And then inside here we're going to say rails.logger.error mini magic processing. And if it does fail, we're going to actually retry. So we're going to say if retries -1 is equal to 0 or is more than 0, then we're going to sleep 1 and retry. Else we're just going to do rails.logger.error all retries failed. Then we just add a raise statement. Now if it is actually successful, we just go under here and we can say rails.logger.info, and we can say mini magic processed an image. And so that should be it. And with all this, we should be good to go. So let's go ahead and try it. So I'm going to go back to the application, and then I'm go back to posts, or we can say new post. First we have to start the server. So yeah, we're going to say new post, and inside here we're just going to add our image, and then hopefully it compresses and gives a low quality and the first image create post. And so it doesn't look like it's compressed, but if I refresh, it still hasn't compressed. So let's go and see what went wrong. So if we scroll up into the logs, it says error performing compress image job, undefined local variable or method image. I just realized I spelled retries wrong. Change that to RETRIES. Okay, yeah. Instead of this line, we're saying image minus mini magic. We need to say equals 2. That's my bad. That's a typo. if we destroy this and actually try it again, the image should actually be compressed. So let's try again, create post, and then it should be doing it now. So what we're going to do is refresh. And as you can see, when we refresh, the image actually compresses. Now notice how the image didn't compress until after we refreshed. That's because the background job took too long and we went to the page before it actually happened. So to fix this, what we could do is we could say inside of here, we could give a TurboStream response to actually run the background job and compress it when uploading. But we're not going to do that in this video because that would make the video too long, but that's just something to think about. So now that we're able to compress images, we just need to compress videos. And then what we're going to do is add some safety, and then that's the end of the video. So to do that, what we're going to do is go to the compress video job, and we're going to go here, and inside of here, we're going to add some code. It's going to be pretty much the same process, just going to be a little bit different. And so inside of here, what I'm going to do is add the code from the previous app in here. So I'm going to go to compress video job, just copy and paste it all because I'm not bothered to type it in, and I'll walk you through it. So we're saying def perform post ID to get the post. Post is equal to post.find to get the specific post in mind. Then we're doing the same thing here, the same thing here. Then we're downloading the video. Then we're setting it to a variable. And something very important to note is that we're actually using FFmpeg to process this video. So you're going to have to install that. So to install that, you just search up how to install FFmpeg on Linux or whenever you're on. And then you install that. So make sure you have that. And you're also going to have the gem. So run this command sudo apt install FFmpeg. If I run this, it should say I already have it. As you can see, it says it's already the newest version. So make sure you have FFmpeg to process videos. That's really important. I believe there are other solutions, but that's what I use. So then you go to the gem file. And inside of the gem file, you have to add the gem as well. So we're going to need Streamio FFmpeg. So I'm going to add Streamio FFmpeg to the new application. So go to the gem file and then add it in here. And then we're going to run bundle install. Then we can just Rails S again, and I'll keep you walking through that file. So again, inside of here, what we're just doing is processing the video, then attaching it to the post. Now this probably isn't the best place to run the background job. It's probably best to run it when you're on the form and not when you're actually creating it. But anyway, now that we've got our compressed video job, we've added FFmpeg to our application, we can actually try this and see what happens. So I'm going to go video, and then I'm going to add this inside there, create post, and we're going to see what happens. So the post was successfully created, so that's good. So I believe we're missing something. And if you go to controllers, post controller, we actually need to make sure to actually run this background job in the quick actions. So go here, copy this, and then change it to compress image job or compress video job, and that way we can actually run the compress video job in the background. This is before we weren't actually running it. So if post.video.attached. So now we're actually going to run that background job. So that was my bad. Sorry about that. New post, choose file, and hopefully it's 1920 by 1080 and actually does the stuff, actually runs. Okay guys, so with that solution, it is actually working. I just tested it out and it does actually compress the video. I changed the video bitrate to 2, and as you can see, that looks like the video bitrate is 2 on this video right here. Now the only thing is that it took about maybe 25 seconds for it to work. So that is something to consider. But for right now, my job is done. I have shown you the basics of compressing images and videos and transforming them. Now all we're going to do is add the rec attack gem and go through some basics of security. So go to the config initializers, and we're going to add, or sorry, this is the wrong project. I'm going to close this one. Go to rubygems.org and then rec attack. Then click on this one, 92 million downloads. And inside of here, what we're going to do is just put it inside the gem file, like so. And then what we're going to do is say config initializers, create a new file. We're going to call it rec_attack, rec_attack.rb. And inside here, we're going to add some code to make it so that people can't abuse the system. So for example, let's say someone wanted to upload 100 images, one after the other, very, very quickly. That's going to cost our system a lot of resources and us some money. And that's just 100 images. Imagine thousands. So to do this, what we're going to do is we're just going to throttle the IP so that certain IPs can't make certain requests, or more than a few requests to a certain endpoint too many times. So let's say a certain IP wanted to upload 5 posts at the same time. Well, then we're not going to allow that, and we're going to ban them for maybe 1 hour. And then inside of here, I'll show you what to do. So I've just added a bunch of code, and what we're doing is we're throttling the certain requests. So look at this one. This one, throttle request to video upload endpoint via IP address. So you say throttle uploads by IP, limit 2, and then the period of 1 minute. So that means that you can only send a post request to the /uploads endpoint 2 times from the same IP, and after that it's just not going to work for 1 minute. In this video we covered the basics of active storage and minimagic and image processing. If you would like to see more, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you for watching, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.